Hello and welcome to episode 12 of our series Back to Basics Sustainability. Now that we have seen the E and the S of ESG reporting, we will focus on the G today to conclude the subseries ESG. Let's dig into the subject right now. In the episode 9 of this series of videos, we introduced ESG reporting at high level. This current episode is focusing on the third pillar, that is governance. As stated previously, governance reporting includes company leadership, board composition, including diversity and structure, corruption and bribery, donations and political lobbying, executive compensations and policies, tax strategy, including audit committee structure, internal control and regulatory policies, whistleblower programs. To these, we can add economic impact on communities. Governance is, of course, about economic performance in the company and how it is handled. This part of the reporting is in line with general economic company reporting. Companies report on their revenues, operating costs, employee wages and benefits, payments to providers of capital, payments to government, and community investments. Retained value is the difference between revenues and distributed value. The report is at the country, region, or market level. However, climate change is imposing other constraints on the companies. They need to identify and report risks and opportunities posed by climate change that potentially affect operations, revenue, or expenditures. Each risk or opportunity and their impact needs to be described. The financial implication of non-acting needs to be evaluated. Companies report also on how the risk or opportunity is managed and what is the cost of undertaken actions to manage it. When applicable, pension plan strategy needs to be disclosed, coverage of pension funds, contribution of employees and employer, etc. Finally, the financial assistance received from government needs to be reported on. It includes tax reliefs and credits, subsidies, investment grants, awards, royalty holidays, financial incentives, etc. Companies disclose also if governments are part of the shareholder structure and to what extent. Another part of the governance report is linked to the local economic impact of companies. This is looked at from a wage perspective from employees and non-employees by stating the ratio between entry-level wage by gender and the minimum wage, when applicable. Where senior management comes from is also a point of attention, as promoting local people has a positive impact. Board composition is another layer of governance where equality and diversity needs to be respected and published. Other area concerns the development of infrastructure investments and services supported, for instance, transportation, health and welfare centers. Their current and expected impact on communities and local economies needs to be assessed. The nature of the investments and services need also to be documented. Finally, procurement practices need to be reported on to assess the local impact. The percentage of procurement budget spent on suppliers local to the operation is provided. The third part relates to risks due to corruption, anti-competitive behavior, and taxes. Reporting on corruption is about providing clarity on the processes put in place to assess potential corruption. This includes conflict of interest that employees or persons linked to a company's activities, products, or services may have, charitable donations and sponsorships, financial and in kind, that are made to other organizations are not used as a disguised form of bribery. Companies need to report on the training they are putting in place on anti-corruption. Anti-competitive behavior refers to actions of an organization or its employees that can result in collusion with potential competitors with the purpose of limiting the effects of market competition. The company needs to report on the legal actions pending or completed during the reporting period regarding anti-competitive behavior and violation of antitrust and monopoly legislation and the outcome of these legal actions.
Taxes paid by an organization reflect that profitability depends on many factors external to the organization, including access to workers, markets, public infrastructure and services, natural resources, and the public administration. Organizations have an obligation to comply with tax legislation and a responsibility to their stakeholders to meet expectations of good tax practices. Companies need to report on their tax strategy. This includes who reviews and approves the strategy in the company, how it is linked to the business and sustainable development strategies of the organization, and who is accountable for compliance with the tax strategy. The mechanisms to review and approve how the strategy is applied should be documented, as well as the mechanisms to raise concerns about the company's business conduct and the company's integrity in relation to tax. Finally, companies need to describe their approach to stakeholder engagement and management of stakeholder concerns related to tax. For all these topics, alert mechanisms, whistleblower programs, need to be implemented. To build this reporting, data collected in the whole company and outside needs to be made available. This is a typical data warehouse exercise. Collected data needs to be transformed to produce the requested KPIs, key performance indicators. That means that calculations rules are applied. We addressed these topics in the previous seasons of the Back to Basics videos. Feel free to re-watch them, they are still available. SAP Business Technology Platform is the platform to address all the data management and usage topics such as acquisition, storage, calculations, and display for reporting and analysis. Among the various data sources possible, SAP S/4HANA, SAP Ariba, SAP SuccessFactors, and SAP Fieldglass can be very helpful. SAP Sustainability Control Tower is the integrated solution to acquire, transform, and report all data related to sustainability. Of course, it is based on SAP Business Technology Platform.
Now that we have seen what ESG means in details with those 3 sub-episodes, I will see you next time in the next episode, in which we are going to talk about entrepreneurship and innovation, all this around sustainability. Very interesting topic, so stay tuned and see you soon.